Wilkinson and Lucy Wager from the Over Food's Sake podcast here. We are coming on daily in the lead up to our masterclass, which is on Wednesday, which is about networking, and we are sharing some of our stories. So today, Lucy's going to share her story of how her network was so powerful when she was at one of her lowest lows. So I'm going to hand over to you, Lucy.
Sounds very dramatic, doesn't it?
It is dramatic. It was dramatic for you at the time, right?
It was dramatic. So for listeners of the podcast, you probably know my story. I had a business called Podology, which I ran for 7 years. I took the very difficult decision in September 2019 to liquidate the business. And it happened very quickly. It was unexpected in a way. And I found myself at a point where I felt like I'd failed. I felt like I probably couldn't work in the food industry anymore. I felt that probably nobody would want to work with me or employ me. It was, that bad. It feels painful. I'm talking about it now.
Yeah.
And what I did was I posted a video on LinkedIn because I wanted people to hear from me what I was doing and what had happened. I didn't think about it at the time. I just thought I want people to know this is probably the quickest way for me to tell people that I know.
Yeah. I remember you just saying like, I want all my, how am I going to explain this to people? It's a good way of explaining it. Yeah.
Because I wanted I'd worked with suppliers for 7 years and I wanted them to hear it from me because obviously there were other people involved. So anyway, I did it like just off the cuff, dropped my kids at nursery, recorded the video, posted it to LinkedIn. Didn't really think any much more about it. If I had have realised what was going to happen, I never would have posted it because it's sort of like sounds a bit dramatic saying it went viral, but it got like 72,000 views.
That's pretty viral.
Yeah. I mean, and I wasn't using LinkedIn as much as I was now. So it had this like dramatic effect. And I obviously, like looking back now, I realised like it was obviously quite a vulnerable thing to admit to, which I hadn't really properly considered at that point. But what it did was it made loads of people, it just told loads of people all at once what was happening. And so many people got in contact with me. And all of a sudden, I was inundated with conversations, opportunities, discussions. And I, realised, nothing had changed. The situation was still as it was. But it made me realise that there were things that I could do. There were people that wanted to help me. There were people that saw value in the experience that I'd had, which at that point I wasn't really properly recognising. And that was really the start of me recognising the incredible value of my network. And it really was from that moment on that I thought, I'm so lucky to work in an industry where people want to talk to you. They genuinely are interested in you and your background. And that is a fact. There are so many people that want to make connections and work with people. And it was from there that, the next 3 years happened. And I've used LinkedIn to sort of grow my consultancy business. And that's how people have found me. We obviously use social platforms for the podcast, and it's become such an important part of our lives, hasn't it? It's why we wanted to do this masterclass, because it's such an important part of who I am now, And I don't think I did use my network through Podology, but I don't think I used it as much as I could have done.
Yeah, and it's almost like with hindsight, would it have ended differently or not at all if you'd used your network in it, if you'd been more brave in using your network? Because it does take bravery, doesn't it, to reach out to people and stuff?
It does. Yeah, it does, definitely. And it doesn't necessarily get any easier either. It's just learn how to do it. And
it just gets more normal to put yourself out of your comfort zone constantly.
Exactly. So yeah, we've got a lot to share, and this is a really exciting masterclass for me, because I think it's so important for everybody to sort of recognize the power of their network. So yeah, it's going to be Wednesday, 28th of September at 12:30, and of course it will be live. But if you can't make it live, you will get the recording sent to you within 24 hours. So yeah, please sign up, and we'd love to see you there, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would love to see you there. Thank you for sharing that with everybody, Lucy, and we'll see you soon.